The Open Plan Office was sold to you as a collaboration tool, a space designed to break down silos, spark spontaneous conversation, democratize access to ideas, and create the kind of organic, creative energy that closed doors and private offices were supposedly killing. This was the pitch. It was compelling enough that it became the default architecture of professional life for an entire generation of workers. And it was wrong, not slightly wrong, comprehensively, measurably, expensively wrong. The Open Plan Office does not enhance collaboration in any meaningful or demonstrable sense. What it does, with reliable consistency and at significant cost to every organization that deployed it, is destroy the single professional capacity that produces almost all of the output that actually justifies the salaries of the people working inside it. The ability to focus. Cal Newport opens deep work with a distinction that sounds deceptively simple and turns out to be one of the most practically consequential ideas in contemporary professional writing. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. The kind of concentrated effort that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit, produces new value, advances your skills, and generates output that is genuinely hard for others to replicate. Shallow work is everything else. Email, meetings, Slack messages, coordination tasks, administrative overhead, work that is logistically necessary, but cognitively undemanding and easily replicated. Work that, if it disappeared tomorrow, would not noticeably change what most organizations actually produce. Modern professional environments have been systematically and comprehensively optimized for shallow work. Not because the people who designed them intended to make you less capable, but because shallow work is visible in a way that deep work is almost never permitted to be. Responding to a message is visible. Being present in a meeting is visible. Having your Slack status active and your response time impressively low is measurable and trackable and legible to anyone assessing your contribution. Sitting silently at your desk for 90 focused minutes, producing something genuinely difficult and genuinely valuable looks, from the outside, from the perspective of anyone glancing across the floor, exactly like doing absolutely nothing productive at all. And in an environment where visibility has become the primary proxy for productivity, the rational response, the one that protects your standing and signals your engagement to the people who assess it, is to optimize for visibility, which is precisely what most professionals have spent the last decade doing, mostly without ever making a deliberate decision to do so. Here is what that optimization has actually cost. Every time your attention is pulled from a complex cognitive task to respond to a notification, check an incoming email, or field an interruption, there is a measurable recovery period before your full cognitive resources can re-engage with the original task. Research cited by Newport puts this at around 23 minutes for a complete return to depth. In an open plan office with live email, persistent Slack, and the general ambient interruption frequency of a working floor, the average knowledge worker receives interruptions at a rate that makes 23-minute recovery windows a mathematical impossibility, which means most professionals are operating through most of their working day in a state of permanent partial attention, never fully inside a task, never fully clear of the last one, running at a sustained cognitive deficit they have normalized and come to experience as the ordinary texture of a working day. This is not a minor friction in an otherwise functional system. It is a structural flaw at the center of how almost all knowledge work gets organized and evaluated. And it has been compounding for over a decade, while organizations measured productivity in terms of email volume, meeting attendance, and response speed, none of which have any necessary relationship to the output that actually justifies what a knowledge worker costs to employ. The action before Episode 2 is a single honest audit. Track tomorrow in 30-minute blocks. For each block, mark whether the work you did was deep, requiring sustained focus, cognitively demanding, producing something that required real skill, or shallow. Do not judge what you find, just count it accurately, because you cannot address what you have not been willing to measure honestly. Episode 2 examines the precise skill this environment has been quietly eroding and why the gap between professionals who have it and those who do not is about to become the defining career divide of the next decade. Subscribe so you do not miss it.